checkered flag. William Byron wins in Homestead as Kyle Larson wins Las Vegas. Alex Bowman steals one in Richmond. Kyle Larson wins the Coca-Cola 600. And Rick Hendrick's team's going to tie a record that stood since 1956.
Coming out of the final corner, Earl Bamber is going to win the Sebring 12 Hours for Chip Ganassi.
What a place to learn IndyCar racing. Eddie Cheevers.
Here it comes. Here it goes. Alex Zanardi at the top of the hill.
But Jimmy, he did a hell of a job.
Zanardi comes through to clinch the PPG Cup. Juan Montoya as a rookie.
Juan Montoya wins the Indianapolis 500.
Dixon today. He is the winner of the 92nd Indianapolis 500.
Daytona 500 to Jimmy.
Three-time winner at Indianapolis. Andy McMurray is going to win Daytona and the Brickyard 400 in the same year.
We approved this program. We did it to come race here at Le Mans.
Dixon is a 5-time IndyCar champion.
If you can't tell from the clothes that I wear or the decorations in my apartment, I'm pretty passionate about racing and motorsport as a whole. And with that being said, I wanted to take a deeper look at how these teams operate and how they can actually go from a winning season to a winning season to a winning season. And I decided to interview two of arguably the most dominant teams in racing history. First off, Chip Ganassi Racing. I decided to interview Mike Hall, who is their managing director. He's been with the team since 1992, and he has since led them to more than 135 race wins, 10 IndyCar championships, 4 wins alone at the Indianapolis 500, 5 wins at the Daytona 24-hour race, and 7 Rolex Daytona prototype championships. So not only a team that has already been cemented, but a team that is always pushing the boundaries into a new generation of cars and racing. This is Brian Porta. I've had the pleasure of meeting with him and spending an entire week with him, learning what he does, how he does it, and how he manages to be a hold of not only just the NASCAR teams that Hendrick has, their 4 NASCAR teams, but also their dealerships and how they operate, their aviation department and how they operate, their real estate business and how they operate, their ADIs, the accessories business that they have, every single division of Hendrick. So every single division that this guy, Rick Hendrick, that he has and owns, Mr. Brian Porta is the one that trains them and manages them on how to be an effective leader. And he does that with a couple different things that I'll get into later on in the video. But back to the NASCAR, racing, motorsports, that kind of realm. Hendrick Motorsports has 312 wins, 12 different championships, 253 pole positions, 1,279 top 5 finishes, 2,187 top 10 finishes. They've led more than 69,500 laps, and they have gone 35 consecutive seasons with at least 1 or more wins under their belt. They've also raced and won at 31 different tracks across America. To put this into perspective, imagine the most dominant sports team in whatever sport that you enjoy, and then have that streak be 35 years long. That's essentially what we're talking about. And I know racing kind of flies over some people's heads and stuff like that, but that's what I'm trying to break down in this video, is how their organizational, kind of aspects work and how everything operates. Because at the end of the day, it's not only about if the driver is up to speed and has all of the different performance, things that they can have, but it's also about the logistics on how they get the cars to the track week after week, month after month, year after year, and also about how each decision, strategy, pit stop, the temperature, the weather, every single little piece of essentially a business plays into it and more. So with that being said, we'll dive right into the video. I interviewed these two phenomenal individuals, and we'll be able to kind of dissect and understand how they operate and how they're successful.
From your perspective, what makes a motorsport team function like an organization rather than just a group of talented individuals?
I think the last part of that question probably is the most important part. Talented individuals, and you see it in all business activities. You see it in sports, certainly. That's what we're talking about mainly. You see teams of people, business-wise or otherwise, that are on their resumes, they're hired for talent.
Mm-hmm.
But what's equally or probably then more efficiently important is how unselfish they are. Because that's what teamwork is all about. And when they become unselfish, when that culture exists in any organization, then they take the time to listen to each other. And oftentimes what does happen is you get fresh thinking or new thinking from an area of your organization where you least expect it, because their eyes are on the product from almost from a different perspective. Oftentimes talented people have their heads down and they think they're right all the time. That's a very, very normal activity for those for talented people.
Yeah.
It's like a room full of people that have easels and they all want to paint their own painting. And what you're trying to do is get them to all contribute so that the most important element, the painting that's going to be finished, represents the entire room.
Gotcha.
And maybe that answers your question. The second part of that is there's two ways to run an organization. The way at Ganassi Racing that we run ours, and it works very effectively, is it's a very flat landscape. You know, there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of books written on organizational charts, and HR people love that. And we kind of throw that book as far as we can, because we feel like, and it goes to the first thing that I said, that with a flat landscape, everybody's looking out the same window.
For sure.
They're together on that. And that window allows that room to lock agendas on the other side of the window and just concentrate on priority.
Yeah.
With a flat landscape on a daily basis, you focus totally on priority. Let's just say there's 10 items on your list for today. You might reshuffle them tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You might reshuffle them the next day. You might reshuffle them the next day, because you have to be flexible as change happens, and the group has to accept that. And if they're aligned like that, then you can accomplish an awful lot quicker than other people can.
When a team sets goals, lap times, consistency, pit stop speeds, how does the MBS or management by objectives style goals guide like the behavior week to week when you guys are setting like the different goals?
Also, quick side note, if you hear Brian talk about what MBS is, it is this little graph right here that represents your management by strengths. So it is taking directness, extroversion, pace, and structure, and kind of identifying who you are and how you display those traits at work. Big part of the entire Hendrick organization. Again, dealerships, motorsports teams, the accessory businesses, their real estate businesses, really everything and anything they classify with MBS and how to communicate in between the teams. So
this is something that happens every day. So the better you understand it, the better you're able to communicate. And the better you communicate, the better you build trust. We call it a trust accelerator. So the more you and I are working in the shop throughout the week, the more I understand what Eddie needs, the more you understand how to communicate with me, the better our interactions are. So that when we are under pressure, when we are at a position where we have to start performing, we understand how to work with each other. We understand how to get the best out of each other. But if I were to go against your temperament, in that particular instance, it's not intentional. When there's 3 to go and I'm debating whether I want to have a 2-tire or 4-tire stop, all of that might go out the window, but we know because of that strong relationship that we've built for those many days, weeks, and months prior, that at the end of the day, we're still trying to get a result. But having that trust and having that cooperation and that communication with each other is what's most important.
For sure. Awesome. So what non-driving behaviors do you see that impact the overall team success? I mean, I know you touched a little bit on communication there and stuff like that, and having the trust in between, back and forth between drivers. Are there any other ones that you think really impact like what the team's success rate is?
It all starts with leadership. So a leader has to communicate a vision. A leader has to communicate a plan. Where are we going? How are we going to get there? And then that leader also has to be a servant and be able to earn the respect of their teammates. And Dr. Maxwell teaches us that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So when that leader demonstrates, you can't ask for a person's hand until you have their heart. Mm-hmm. So by that leader casting vision and charting the course, whenever they're going and meeting their teammates where they are, helping them grow, pouring into them, that's what forges those bonds. And that way they're bought into what the leader's trying to do. And then everyone is trying to find the best result that they can by using their strengths, and everyone has different strengths. And that's the way that true leadership fosters a plan, that vision, that buy-in, and then it just comes down to the execution at that point in time. People just have to do their job.
Okay, this is late night Eddie editing the video. We're actually already at 10 minutes, so I know that I don't have much more time left because you guys are probably going to be seeing this on a presentation. But with that being said, if you guys want the full presentations, more than happy to send them to you guys. Just, reach out to me after class or something, or let me know. If you guys are interested in them, Hendrick comes to our career days, so those are awesome. You should definitely go check them out. They have so many different levels of their business, so don't just think that you're signing up to work for an automotive group. There are so many different things that they do. And then obviously Northwood is starting their new racing and motorsports program. So definitely feel free to reach out to myself or any of them if you guys are interested in any of that stuff. But that's kind of my shameless plug. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is only my second time editing a video, so try not to flame me too hard, or you can. I mean, give me feedback if any of you guys are video editors. Give me some tips. I don't know. But anyway, huge shout out to Brian Porta and Mr. Mike Hall. They were amazing and fantastic to work with. I highly recommend you guys, if you ever have the chance to talk to them, you do, because they're extremely knowledgeable and they've been in not only this business forever, but just around people forever, in all sorts of different people, from billionaires, zillionaires, whatever you want to say, all the way down to racing drivers, motorsport icons, and all that other stuff. So if you are passionate about that, reach out to me and I'll definitely hook you up with them on their LinkedIn or whatever it may be. So yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it. It was a fun project. So